What's good, man? Welcome to the Stacks gang. It's your boy DJ Stacks, aka Sir Stacks a lot. Now listen, I'm back here with another episode of Tech and Tips, man. As you can see by the title, this one is about the cartwheel. This is one of my favorite moves with Armor King. I've been using this since Tag 2 days, Tekken 7, and there's so much utility. You know what I'm saying? You can do so much with this. You can use it as a ground poke. You can use it as a mid-screen poke. You can use it as a setup for mind games and pressure. You could use it for wall splats. You could use it for so much different things, and I'm gonna show you guys how and what I use it for. I'm not gonna make this video too long. I'm gonna get through this as quick as I can. So without further ado, let's get into it, right? First things first, if the cartwheel connects, then this is guaranteed and this is guaranteed. Let's start with this string first, right? I don't use this that much, but it's very strong. It gives +8, crazy frames, and you can also go straight into stance. So if you're a stance abuser, you can go right ahead and abuse your cheese. If you're a real nigga like me, you can go boom, boom into the rest of your pressure. Whatever the hell you want to do, right? You can mix your opponent up with stances and crazy frames from that alone. And for combos, that's mainly what I use it for, to be honest. You can use it as wall carry. It gives a nice float animation. And yeah, that's about it for that. I don't really use it that much in the neutral. Now this is where the mind games begin. This is where it gets interesting, because this, like I said, is also guaranteed. But this is where it gets tricky, because let's just say you have mix-ups from here because you can go back turn. You can choose to not go for that second hit and just stand like this. And here you have multiple options. You can go low kick, you can go mid kick for the mix-up. And prior to this game, if you ever played Armor King Tekken 7 or Tag 2, this hop kick actually launched for a full combo conversion. Unfortunately, not anymore, so that's a useless option. What you can also do is standing 3. Boom. That combos. So that's a great option if your opponent crouches or if they try to do a quick poke not expecting the back turn mix. That's a nice option. The reason why this is so strong is because you can just mix that up with this follow-up right here. Because let's just say, if you go cartwheel and you're about to mix your opponent up with back turn mix-ups, your opponent can actually do a quick dick jab immediately after they block the cartwheel to basically interrupt your flow and steal your turn. But if you go for the second hit here, they cannot interrupt it. It'll actually be counter hit. And as you can see, this knocks down on normal hit. On counter hit, it does a bit more damage, right? And it knocks the opponent a bit further. As you can see, Kazuya rolls back one extra time and he ends up on his back instead of his stomach. And of course it wall splats, so if there's a wall blast, balcony break, you guys know the drill, right? You mix that with the back turn mix-ups and you have a blizzard of 50-50s to cook your opponent with, because this right here, check this out. This is actually -10, but look at the pushback. This basically makes it safe in the mid-screen. Your opponent cannot get a 1-1-2 punish from here. Now, if they're directly at the wall, maybe, because there's like no separation. You get what I'm saying? And even then, if they expect the mid, go low. Hit them with a quick low poke. Follow up with a wall standing 4 for the frames if you have them. If depending on what your opponent does, you can get a quick wall standing 4 right there and continue on with your pressure. You know, this gives +5, right? And if your opponent freezes here, getting ready for the mix-up, you can also go for the unblockable. This is a great option to throw your opponent off. Catch them off guard because they cannot block this. By the time they react to this animation, they're just gonna freeze and get hit, and just like that, they're on the floor, you're also on the floor. But that's a great move if your opponent is at like low HP and you want to close it out real quick, catch them with something that they don't expect. Another thing you can do for no reason at all is a back turn giant swing. If you have the execution, yes, you can pull this off easily. You see how he turns around though? It's tricky because let's just say there's certain situations where if you catch your opponent with the cartwheel while they're tech rolling or while they're on the ground doing side rolls and shit like that, The cartwheel oddly realigns the opponent to the side for some reason. The hitbox is weird. So depending on the angle you hit this from, you can actually get a giant swing face first. I've done this multiple times in the neutral. It's not something that you can just plan out because it's very, very unlikely. But you can make it happen if you put this into practice and you get a feel for how to utilize the cartwheel, you can make this thing so strong. Stuff like that is absolutely possible. You can definitely get a giant swing from here, right? Another thing you can do from these low pokes is you can go for a throw. You know what I'm saying? You can go for a giant swing as well if you have the execution, and that's basically a 50-50 in itself, because if you go low poke, right, go for the 1+2 break, and then you go for the giant swing, hold on, they basically look the exact same. How can your opponent guess? Now there's always gonna be that one guy that's like, oh yeah, you can just block low, bro, and duck under, bro. You're not AI generated, brother. You cannot react to everything, especially not mid-game in the heat of battle with input delays and all that extra shit. Let's be real. So this is a great mix-up. Catch your opponent off guard real quick. If you do decide to go for the low poke, you can catch them with a throw. And if they do decide to block low, guess what? Just go for a hop kick. A hop kick ain't never hurt nobody, right? Now, keep in mind, because if your opponent blocks this, you're actually going to be put on the ground in front of them, and a character like Kazuya can get a steel pedal. But it's not going to hurt that bad, right? There's only that good of a punish your opponent can get from the ground. So they might just get a quick low poke. It's not going to hurt you that much. And even then, a lot of times your opponent might mess up the ground punish real quick because they're not ready. Immediately go for a wake up mid kick and continue your pressure from there. Now you have other options. You can also go for the throw. Boom! This gives good frames on hit. As you can see, you can immediately continue your pressure if the opponent gets straight up. You can go for your low mix-ups from there. You can grab them. There's just so much things you can do from here. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's about it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really use this that much in the neutral. This puts the opponent in crouching state and it's neutral on block. But the only time I would use that is for combos. Just for the swag points. Add a little variety to the combo selection. You could do some little shit like that. Nothing crazy. It's not that useful of a move, but it's there. It's an option, right? If your opponent does press, this can actually hit them first. And I believe that gives like a throw up close. Yes. So let's say your opponent does a dick jab right there. That is gonna put them on their fucking ass. They're gonna feel that shit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just multiple options you have. If you don't want to go for this, you can go for that as well. Like I said, man, put all of this stuff together in the practice. Put this in the lab. And when I say lab, I mean random sets with players, bro. Experiment and get a feel for how to utilize this, and you'll see what you're capable of with this shit. I love this move, bro. I love this shit so much. There's just so much you can do. Back turn mix-ups. You know what I'm saying? You can go for the full follow-up here. You can get an unblockable. You can get wall splats if your opponent's scared of the low pokes. Just pick their brain. Literally get in your opponent's head and yeah, put this to use, man. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. I hope this helped you out. Let me know down below what y'all think, and I'll see y'all boys on the next one.
Okay, bye.